Jesus told a story about a father who had two sons. He went to the first son and said, "Son, go and work in the vineyard today." Do you know what a vineyard is? It's a farm, especially for growing grapes. It has rows and rows of vines with red grapes and white grapes for making wine and grape juice. Well, when the father asked his first son to go and work in the vineyard, the son answered, "I will not." I don't know why he said no. Maybe he was busy. Maybe he was tired. Maybe he didn't think he was much good at working in the vineyard. But later, he changed his mind and he went. Then the father went to the second son and said the same thing, "Son, go and work in the vineyard." The second son replied, "I will go, sir, right away, sir." But he did not go. I wonder why the second son didn't go, even though he said that he would. Maybe he got busy. Maybe he got tired. Maybe he didn't think he was much good at working in the vineyard either. He knew he should go, but he didn't go. After telling this story, Jesus asked those who were listening, which of the two sons did what the father wanted? It was the first son, wasn't it? Even though he said no at first, he changed his mind, and he did what his father asked him to do. I think Jesus told the story to teach us that what we actually do is more important than what we say we will do. He wants us to walk the walk and not just talk the talk. But it makes me wonder about the kind of work that the sons would have been doing in the vineyard. What do you think? Can you imagine what that work in the vineyard would have been like? Like any farm, they must have started with tilling the soil and planting the seeds. Then they would have needed to water the plants every day and watch over and tend the vines as they grew. Later, they would get to pick all the grapes and crush the grapes and get out the juice. Finally, they would make the wine and put it in bottles to share. Even today, working in a vineyard is hard work. I found a description where a young woman explained that picking the grapes involves long hours of hard, tiring physical work, which can be dirty and sticky. She said you also have to do a lot of sweeping and mopping and cleaning of the place where you're making the wine. And it's very important, and making the bottling in wine requires a lot of attention to detail. It makes me wonder about the son who didn't go to work in the vineyard. I wonder if he was worried that he couldn't handle it. I wonder if he thought that he didn't have the strength and energy needed to get the job done. As Christians, Jesus has work for us to do. He asks us to tell others about God's love. He asks us to show love for one another. And he asks us to pay special attention and give extra care to people who are poor or sick or struggling. Presbyterians Sharing is a special fund of the Presbyterian Church in Canada that makes it easy for us to do some of these things. When we give to Presbyterians Sharing, our gifts help congregations share God's love with people in their communities and with people around the world. When we give money to Presbyterians Sharing, it's one of the ways that we say yes to God, who is asking us to do God's work. We can also say yes by praying for the church and its ministries, by participating in the ministries supported by Presbyterian Sharing, or by inviting others to come along and work with us to share God's love in the world. Let's not hesitate like the first son, or change our minds like the second son. If we work together, sharing our money, our time, our talents, and our prayers for each other, I think we'll end up with some pretty nice wine or grape juice, enough to share with everyone.